Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to the homie Maverick. Hey, man, make sure I go subscribe to his channel and all that other good stuff. You already know. Without further ado, let's get right into it, though. My favorite all-time player from all 30 teams. All right. This should be interesting. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
Bringing you back to another list video. Today we're gonna reminisce on the good times. This video is gonna be positive. I'm bringing you my all-time favorite player from all 30 NBA teams. My all-time favorite player from all 30 NBA teams. I hope you guys enjoy this list, man. I hope this list brings back some fond memories for you, like it did me, man, when I should present my favorite players. So, yeah, man. Without further ado, man, let's go ahead and dive right in. Boston Celtics. None other than Paul Pierce.
Thank you.
Why? The dude is just freaking.
The only player from the Celtics I ever respect. The rest of it, fuck the Celtics. Don't get me wrong. Larry Bird was cold. Don't get me wrong. Larry Bird was cold, but I didn't grow up in the 80s. I grew up in the 2000s. So Paul Pierce is the Celtic I will respect. Fuck you, me.
Freaking clutch. The dude is just freaking clutch. Like, he is a 3-level scoring threat. He's one of the best 3-point shooters of all time, you know what I'm saying? And he's also the Celtics all-time leading scorer, too. You know what I'm saying? I will never forget his 2008 Finals MVP run. Like, that was just stuff of legend right there, you know what I'm saying? I have nothing but respect for Paul Pierce's game, you know what I mean? Especially, like, considering, like, one of the things that made him so deadly is that he didn't dip on his jump shot. He would just stand there and just let it fly, you know what I'm saying? I noticed this when he won the three-point contest in 2010, beating his fellow Celtic teammate at the time, Ray Allen, for it. So, kudos to you, Paul Pierce. Kudos to you. I would have to say my favorite Paul Pierce moment was when he stared down Al Harrington, and then he like dribbled up and pulled up from way deep, and then canned it in his face. That was amazing. Anyway, move forward. Brooklyn Nets. My all-time favorite player from there is legitimately my favorite point guard of all time, Jason Kidd. Reason why? This dude backpacked the Nets.
Yeah, I don't have a player from the Nets. I don't have a player from the Nets. I guess you could say Vince Carter for his short stint there. That's the only player I could honestly give you. Any other player, I never fuck with the New Jersey Nets. New Jersey Nets was always, you know.
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Say what you want, but the New Jersey Nets was always trash for me. The Brooklyn Nets. We don't talk about the Brooklyn Nets.
The instant they traded Stephon Marbury to the Suns for him, he backpacked the Nets to 2 straight finals appearances on his own. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was the sole all-star on that team. Like, backpacking doesn't even, you know what I'm saying, cover the whole half of the story. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's that. He also is, like, just like Paul Pierce, one of the better 3-point shooters of all time, despite him struggling to find his shot early in his career. But as his game developed, his shooting stroke developed, you know what I'm saying? And Jason Kidd was also a key piece on that 2008 Redeem team that the 2004 Olympic team for USA didn't have. They did not have a true facilitating floor general type of point guard. Like, you know, J. Kidd is one of the best floor generals I've ever seen. And I really like him for this reason. He plays both sides of the ball very well. Y'all remember in the 2011 finals where he guarded LeBron successfully? Him, J.J. Barrett, and Jason Terry were locking LeBron up on defense, bro. And then, like, you can look it up, some of his interviews, like, he tells you, like, you know, we had a plan in the zone to keep LeBron uncomfortable and out the paint. And it worked. It worked. Yeah, man. Shout out J. Kidd, man. You my favorite point guard. I also like that. I also like the game where him and Steve Nash went bucket for bucket, but we'll get to that. Anyway, New York Knicks. Surprisingly, this favorite player of mine might shock you guys. But my favorite player of all time is actually Allen Houston. Reason why? The damn 53-point game against the Lakers. I'm like, this dude is unstoppable, man. This dude is unfreaking stoppable.
Al Houston was a problem, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. This nigga was a problem, bro. If you down, you could be up 20. Don't let this nigga get hot. That's for damn sure. That was one rule. If you up 20, if you up 10, 15, 20, don't let this nigga get hot. That's a fact. But for New York, come on, it's gotta be Melo. Come on, bro. It's gotta be Melo. Come on, bro. It's gotta be Melo. Melo, hello. Come on, bro. Come on, dog. Come on, man.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
It's gotta be Melo, man. What other superstar player on the Knicks? What other superstar can you name was on the Knicks besides fucking Patrick Ewing? After Patrick Ewing. Who you say was the true superstar and leader of this team and had the Knicks going crazy, bruh? It was Melo, bro. If you say Jeremy Lin, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Fuck Jeremy Lin.
Like, he can get a shot from literally anywhere. Like, and he doesn't even, like, his game reminds me of me because, you know, I'm the type of person that doesn't need a lot of dribbles to get a shot up. And Allen Houston is literally the same way, regardless if it's from 3 or from mid-range or however. He doesn't need a whole bunch of dribbles to get his shot up. That's what I've always respected about Allen Houston. You know what I'm saying? For real. He's also, like, you know what I'm saying, one of the better crunch time players, you know, I've seen before. Like, there was this amazing floater he hit against Miami in the 1999 playoffs. That was pretty dope, and they needed that shit to fall down, too. So, yeah, when you need a bucket, you don't throw to Patrick Ewing because he will miss from point-blank range. You throw to a guy like Allen Houston who will let it fly at any given time. So, yeah, that's my boy H2O. Philly, I think this is universally everybody's favorite Sixer. The answer, Allen Iverson.
Yes, sir.
What other person could I put on here? Drew Holiday? And sure, because he does play both sides of the ball good, but he isn't as prolific of a player as AI was. Like, dude, me and my older brothers, we had the original I3 Allen Iverson videotape. And we would watch that. That's why he's the his game is so smooth, so quick. He made you want to be a better ball handler. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's also one of the fastest players I ever seen. Like, that dude had mad speed. You know what I'm saying? Like, his speed definitely lacked up for his lack of size and strength. And let's not forget, like, he crossed Jordan. So there's that. And then, like, let's not forget his iconic game 1 of the 0-1 finals where he crossed up Ty Lue. You know what I'm saying? And then Allen Iverson is also very clutch. The problem is he didn't have clutch enough teammates around him. And then by the time he got those clutch enough teammates, they wanted to be a bunch of ball hogs. But we'll get to that. But yeah, man, Allen Iverson definitely a go-to player. You know what I'm saying? Definitely top 5 in his position for sure. Just like how J Kidd is a top 5 guard. I think he's a top 5 2 guard for sure. And then he also like forced David Stern to have all the NBA players wear suits and all their wear at the games instead of wearing like regular street clothes. But anyway, Toronto Raptors. I think this is everybody's favorite Raptor because it's still mine. Vince Carter. He's the greatest dunker of all time. He recently had his jersey.
Who else could it be? Who else could it be? Who else could it be? I mean, who else could it be, man? Vince Carter for sure, bro.
He retired too. You know what I'm saying? Now that I think about it. And he developed an amazing heartfelt speech that just made my respect for him grow even more. But yeah, Vince Carter, you know what I'm saying? Despite him, you know what I'm saying, when he was that 1A on his team, despite him not, you know, going as far as, you know, we would wish him to hold, he's still one of the most prolific scorers in the game. He's still one of the most prolific scorers to ever pick up the basketball. Like, his bag was dang near unlimited. And it wasn't just the above the rim stuff. Like, he is an underrated 3-point shooter. I think he's top 10 in most threes made. Yeah, he's top 10 in most threes made. You know what I'm saying? I think he might be like 6th or 7th, but yeah, he's up there for sure. Like, one of my favorite plays was when he was on Dallas, and it was game 3 of the first round of 2014 finals. He pump faked Manu Ginobili, and then he like faded back, and then got the shot off in the corner, and it switched in with no time on the clock left. He literally called the game on that. Fire. Then there was a time in Brooklyn when he was playing for New Jersey when he hit 9 threes, and then there was also a moment where like he slid on Alonzo Mourning and linked in the air and just yeet. But yeah, man. But my favorite moments with him in the Raptors jersey are the duels him and Allen Iverson used to have. Those used to go absolutely insane. Like, he would drop 51 points, and Allen Iverson would drop close to 50. Like, they would go at it. Anyway, Golden State Warriors. I put 2 entries here because I couldn't choose between the 2. The first one goes to David Lee.
What?
Primarily because I think he's one of the most underrated power forwards of all time. Like, he's a double-double machine, and like he'll dish you out.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. First of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
David Lee. Hey, I mean, you like who you like, brother. You like who you like. Hey, I'm just saying, the David Lee. David Lee. David Lee. I ain't heard that name in years. David Lee. David Lee.
I'm like, what he say fuck me for?
David Lee. Hey, you like who you like, but David Lee.
Also pretty nice assist because he's good at passing from the post to make a play. So yeah, there's that. And, you know, he also had a nice mid-range touch. But then again, he's a lefty. Most lefties know how to shoot unless your name's DeAndre Jordan. But no. A lot of people forget that David Lee, like, when Klay Thompson was a rookie, you know what I'm saying, and when he first got over from being off the Knicks, David Lee was one of the captains of the Golden State Warriors alongside Stephen Curry. A lot of people forget that. You know what I'm saying? They don't win the 2050 championship without David Lee, you know what I'm saying, doing what he does best, you know what I'm saying, which is rebounds, You know what I'm saying? Inside scoring, mid-range scoring, all that good stuff. His ability to play make out the post. The Golden State Warriors do not win the 2015 championship without him. And it proves because the very next year in 2016, when they didn't have him defending and scoring in the paint, and Andrew Bogut went down, you know what I'm saying? They didn't have anybody else to rely on. So yeah, there's that. And then my second pick is Klay freaking Thompson. Killer Klay, aka Game 6 Klay. The reason why, he's a top 5 deadly shooter of all time. That's number one. Number two, like me and like Allen Houston, he doesn't need to dribble a whole bunch of times to get a shot off. You know what I'm saying? And then number 4, he's one of the greatest 3-and-D players I've ever seen because the way he guarded Kyrie Irving, fire. Especially in the 2017 finals, like he was sticking him up. You know what I'm saying? Every time they switched him on pick and rolls. Like it doesn't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Klay Thompson on the defensive end was one of the biggest contributors to why they went back to back on 2017 and 2018. Man, moving forward.
Now I can understand Klay. But come on, the Steph Curry disrespect is wild. But hey, it's who you like. But still, the Steph Curry disrespect is wild.
NANI?! お前はもう死んでいる。
Yo, I get it, but Jesus.
LA Clips. Blake Griffin. Now I wanted to put Chris Paul here, but because
Don't ever put Chris Paul on this list. Don't put Chris Paul on this list. Don't put Chris Paul on this list at all. Blake, I understand because Blake is really the only true LA Clipper that we can honestly say is goated. So yeah, if there was a player that actually deserved to get their jersey retired for the Clippers, honestly it'd be Blake. It'll honestly be Blake. This is like the one true superstar they actually had.
considering the fact that he's one of the 2 greatest chokers of all time, I couldn't put him here. I had to put his fellow Lob City teammate because I would never forget the time during the dunk contest in 2011 where he jumped over the car and dunked on somebody. He jumped over the car and dunked with a cape on. That was iconic. And furthermore, I think he was like, I don't know who he was dunking on, but like he like threw it in over him. I think it was Gerald Henderson he was dunking on. He like threw it in over him.
No, he didn't have a cape on. You thinking of Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, the only player in the dunk contest that had a cape on. Blake Griffin jumped over the hood of a Kia while Baron Davis was standing outside of the sunroof of the car and threw the pass to him. That's what you're thinking of.
And then like his game as he aged developed, like, and he didn't come to the game having handles. He had to develop handles. You know what I'm saying? During his last couple years as a Clip, leading up to Detroit, he was crossing dudes up and shooting mid ranges over them. So yeah, I have to give Blake Griffin his credit. Like he developed this game well. He just couldn't translate that into a championship winning roster set. Anyway, moving forward. LA Lakers. I got 2 entries for this one because I could not leave a certain person off this list. First of all, Kobe Bryant. You already know why. I explained why he's better than LeBron James in one of my previous videos. You already know why I like him. You know what I'm saying? Bigger bag. You know what I'm saying? The closest thing I've ever seen to Michael Jordan in my life. That's what I'm talking about. The closest thing I ever seen.
That's why he's there today. That's why he's the GOAT.
Not to mention politics, all that good stuff. And then on the other end, we have Shaquille O'Neal.
Most definitely.
This version of Shaq from when he was 24 up until he was 34. Like from 24 up until he got traded to Miami. Like from 24 years old to about maybe 31, 32 years old when he started like getting hurt because his legs couldn't hold his weight after a dunk. Up until that time, Shaquille O'Neal was a dominant force that cannot be stopped on both ends. Shot blocking and scoring in the paint. Like this was Shaq at the peak of his powers. He was literally Superman. Literally Superman. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. But yeah, I'll never forget when he was playing so good that like he ended up fouling out in Game 4 of the 2000 finals, and then Kobe came off the bench and was just cooking everybody to make sure to make Lakers snuck out a win. You know what I'm saying? That was very telling of how deadly the Kobe Shaq Lakers were. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter. And then like let's not forget in the round previous in the Western Conference Finals that iconic one-handed catch lob into a dunk that somebody gave Shaq. You know what I'm saying? And it was right on I think it was right on Sabonis' head top too. So yeah, there's that. And there was that time he dunked on somebody and he pushed him. Shaq's a legend. Shaq's a legend. Hands down. Sacramento Kings. Peja Stojakovic. I think he might be
one of the
like top 10 in terms of like 3-point percentage. He might be like top 10 leading in this category. But regardless of the fact, it doesn't change the fact that he's one of the most dynamite shooters of all time. I think he's a 2-time 3-point shootout champion, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, man. Like, I'm telling you, even 2K knows this dude was deadly. Like, Like when I'm playing 2K against computer, they won't let Peja get open for him to shoot, man. It's like they know.
Nah, the most overpowered Peja Stojakovic ever created was NBA Ballers. The first NBA Ballers. If you know, you know. The first NBA Ballers, Peja Stojakovic was the most overpowered fucking player in that game. That nigga would not miss. They made him super strong, so you couldn't push him out of bounds or nothing. You had to literally block this man's shot or just hope and pray that he missed.
And then like he was the most broken character in NBA Ballers because he never missed a shot. Like you put up anything with him, especially if he spammed the secret shot, this dude never missed. I'd have to do that when my cousins and my brothers would try to beat me. I had to do that, with Peja, man. But yeah, man. Kind of makes you think. If only in Game 7 of the O2 Finals, if only he didn't airball. If only. We can only imagine. But yeah, man. Shout out Peja. He was also deadly as hell on the Hornets too, and he was also part of that Mavericks team that went to the finals and swept Kobe, beat KD and Russ and Harden, and beat LeBron, D-Wade, and Bosh in Miami. So yeah, man, he was also on that team. Shout out Peja. Phoenix Suns. It should be obvious who it is. You know what I'm saying? But like some people will have other names in here, but my personal Suns go to Steve Nash. I mean, it's probably
I ain't mad at it.
Back-to-back MVP. Even though, in my opinion,
I ain't mad at it. Mine's Charles Barkley, but I ain't mad at it.
that 06 MVP should have went to Kobe, but that's neither here nor there. But he definitely took that 05 MVP by storm. Like he deserved that 05 MVP. It's just the 06 MVP. Yeah, I disagree with. But yeah, man, he's one of the few players in the game to have a 50-40-90 season. That's one of the hardest things you can do in the NBA. 50-40-90 means 50% field goal percentage, over 40% three-point percentage, and over 90% free throw percentage. He's done that before. You know what I'm saying? And then like Steve Nash also revolutionized the fast-paced offense. You know what I'm saying? Thanks to his coach Mike D'Antoni implementing that in their system to win. You know what I mean? And I kind of wish that him and Dirk would stay together so he'd have a ring because of this move to the Suns, he'd retire as one of the greatest players to never win a ring, sadly. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for his bad back, man, I can only imagine if he had a championship right now, man. But yeah, man, the Canadian sensation Steve Nash, you already know how he balls, man. That dude is nifty, he's crafty, he's shaky, he's jivey, all of that good stuff. A lot of my shooting workouts are inspired by him. So yeah, man, shout out Steve Nash. Chicago Bulls. Now, I didn't grow up watching this player live, but because my grandfather had the videotapes, I was forced to watch him in full games. I got to put Michael Jordan in there. The reason why? I mean, come on. He's the greatest player of all time, 6-0. Undefeated 10 times scoring champ, steals multiple times, defensive player of the year.
That's why he's the
It's Michael Jordan. That's the reason why the NBA is polarized is like the shoes. You know what I'm saying? The poster dunks. You know what I'm saying? It's Michael Jordan. Cleveland Cavaliers. After further review, man, my favorite Cavalier is actually Kyrie Irving. Now, I was going to put LeBron here. But like the fact that I was gonna put LeBron there, but his antics just was rubbing me the wrong way. And furthermore, Cleveland really doesn't have the 2016 championship without Kyrie's amazing shot. Like everybody wants to talk about LeBron's bot, but everybody seems to forget how crazy of a shot that Kyrie Irving hit. You know what I'm saying? Like especially going up against a weak defender like Stephen Curry. Like all he did was just sidestep and just torch that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like he has arguably one of the biggest bag of all time in terms of handles and layup packages. Like there's nothing this dude can't do around the rim. You know what I'm saying? And he's a great shooter. Like I said earlier, he's a great shooter. But yeah, man, this guy his bag is heavy. You know what I mean? I really hope one of these days before he retires that he wins another championship without LeBron as a testimony to how much the Cleveland Cavaliers needed him as well as they needed LeBron to win. So yeah, man. And on top of that, he's one of the most selfless players of all time. You know what I'm saying? And like he's not afraid to speak his truth either. Shout out brother Kyrie, man. Anyway, Detroit Pistons. There's two choices in here because I couldn't leave one or the other off here. My first choice is Big Ben Wallace. Reason why? I love the defense this guy plays. This guy was always somewhere blocking shots. And he didn't care who you were or how big you were. He didn't care about none of that. He was always somewhere blocking your shot. You know what I'm saying? They called him Big Ben for a reason. But yeah, man, shout out Ben Wallace. Everybody was saying fear the fro. You know what I'm saying? I just wish that things didn't go sour with the Detroit Pistons after the 2004 title. Because if Ben Wallace would stay, who knows what more they could have accomplished together. And speaking of 04 Pistons, I got another member on this list as I mentioned. Chauncey freaking Billups. Reason why? Who was hitting all the clutch shots for those Pistons teams? Just saying. And I also got to give, Chauncey now because he's also an ex-Timberwolf. So yeah, man, there's that. Shout out to the.
Mine would be between Ben Wallace and Grant Hill. That would be my two. That would be my two for Detroit. It'd be Grant Hill or Ben Wallace. I'm leaning more towards Grant Hill, but Ben Wallace actually got a championship. So, But Grant Hill was that dude. Like, don't get it twisted. Grant Hill was that fucking dude. All right. Y'all need to do y'all Googles. Y'all need to do y'all research, bro. Grant Hill was that dude.
Shout out to Mr. Big Shot over here. He also was on the NBA Ballers cover too. Now that I mentioned it, But yeah, man. And then like you can also look up some of the videos of how he and the Pistons had the psychological advantage against Kobe and how they knew to put Kobe in uncomfortable situations, forcing him to shoot instead of pass to Shaq. Like it was his idea to pretty much play up on the forecourt. You know what I'm saying? So that way Shaq doesn't get set in the paint for that easy dime for Kobe to throw. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Shout out Chauncey Billups. Like him and that Pistons team had all the psychological advantages going their way. So yeah, there's that. Indiana Pacers, there's also 2 picks for this one too. First one is Paul George. The reason why this version of Paul George was peak Paul George, my personal opinion. Because this was the only one post Danny Granger's injuries. Because if Danny Granger doesn't get hurt, maybe it's Danny Granger that goes toe-to-toe with LeBron. But this dude stepped up to the plate and went toe-to-toe with LeBron. And wasn't scared of him. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't beat him. But man, did he give him a hell of a fight in the Eastern Conference. Because, at the time, the Eastern Conference was very, very weak. It might still be today. But regardless, it was weak back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had Indiana and Miami for 2 straight Eastern Conference finals. 2 straight at a point. And, like, him and LeBron was going bucket for bucket. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. For that alone, and the fact that he's a two-way player, Paul George deserves my respect. And then I have Reggie Miller. I mean, he's their franchise's best player. Like, how do you not like Reggie Miller is the question. Like, dog.
I mean, it's still fuck the Pacers over here. We still say fuck the Pacers. We done with the Pacers. No. Me personally, I'd say it's between Paul George and Jermaine O'Neal for me personally. I would take Jermaine O'Neal and Paul George over Reggie Miller. That's just me on a personal level. But I get it, though. I understand.
8 points in like 13 seconds. What was it? 8 points in 13 seconds? However the heck you pronounce it. But yeah, man. That dude is a freaking legend. Top 3 shooter of all time, for sure. Top 3 shooter of all time, despite the ugly form. Like, I love his play style and how he moves without the ball, too. That's what I like about Reggie. Like, his off-the-ball movement and coming off picks and getting ready to shoot is severely underrated. Like, people do not understand how much of a skill of moving without the ball in order to shoot was. Like, if you want to watch a masterclass on that, watch Reggie Miller tapes, like I did. Moving forward. Milwaukee Bucks. Now, this guy is also top 3, but he's not 3. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Allen. And I put this version of him up here because he was playing a bit more above the rim. Like, he was more of an all-around threat around this time. Instead of being just a spot-up shooter like he was in his older years, this dude was literally backpacking the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? With his
Bucks years and his Seattle Supersonic years were arguably his best years. But you already know who the real. We all know who the real. We all know who the real big baller shot caller of the Milwaukee Bucks is. I don't think I gotta say his name, but
Dynamite play. You know what I mean? I'm glad he eventually would get his rings. You know what I'm saying? Joining Boston and Miami, but still. Like, a lot of people forget how amazing of a play Ray Allen is. Like, have y'all not watched He Got Game? Come on. He's Jesus Shuttlesworth. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Denver Nuggets. Easy choice for me because you've seen me wear his jersey. Carmelo freaking Anthony. Sadly, I wish he wasn't one of the players that he said his gold medals are his championships. That's what that's why he's there, I kind of wish that his great chance to win titles him and Addison together. Because I thought they were gonna make some noise, but they kept getting bounced out in the earlier rounds. Like, they never made a conference final together. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a kid not thinking real basketball things because both of these guys, him and AI, were just way too ball dominant, and that posed a big issue on why Carmelo couldn't win a championship with Denver. Furthermore, a lot of pieces got moved around him in Denver. You know what I'm saying? To the point where it disgruntled him. So yeah, there's that. But regardless, I have Carmelo Anthony in my top 5 scorers of all time. Like, Michael Jordan's number 1, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Melo is like arguably around the top, like arguably top 4, top 3. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, moving forward. I got his predecessor Alex English somewhere in there at 5 too because he's a dynamite scorer as well. Anyway, Utah Jazz. It was easy for me. I don't know if it's gonna be hard for you because we all know how we feel about Utah. But if I had to pick a choice, it is my boy Darren Williams. And the reason why, he was in a lot of conversations at my lunch tables on who was the greater best point guard in the league. He was in those conversations.
Y'all sleep on Darren Williams, bro. Niggas be sleeping on Darren Williams, bro. This was one of my favorite players, bro. One of my favorite. He was starting to become my favorites. I had my upstarts because I still have my favorite favorites. My favorite favorites, like my true favorites. Like, if they on television, I'm watching. My favorite favorites still around the time they was coming up in the league, I'd probably say was still Well, when did Darren Williams make that? Okay, so like 2007, around like 2000, between like 07 and uh between like '07 and '09. My favorites around that time. Allen Iverson was still my number one. Dwayne Wade became my number two. Carmelo became my number three. Tracy started getting hurt, so I had to move Tracy McGrady out. Shaq wasn't the same no more. I accepted the fact that Shaq was becoming washed, so I threw him out as well. I threw Shaq out as well. So now it was Melo and Dwayne Wade and Allen Iverson, because it was my three. But Darren Williams, if I had a top five back then, it'd have been Darren Williams and Brandon Roy for sure. Yep, for sure. It would have been Brandon Roy and Darren Williams in my top five for sure. Between like 07 and 09.
It was either him, D Rose, or Rajon Rondo. It was literally between those. And then like Chris Paul's name got thrown in there too, despite him already at that point, blowing 2 leads to the Spurs as a Hornet. But I digress. And then Tony Parker, you know what I'm saying. But Darren Williams was borderline top 3 at this point, and this was one of those eras where he was top 3. You know what I'm saying? Shout out D Will. My Timberwolves, you should know, it's Kevin Garnett. Reason why? I'm a Kevin Garnett stan. I love him. He was a good teammate. He sold out the Carter Center every time he played there. He came back in 2015 to mentor Cat. He's a Wolfer for lifer despite winning a ring with the Celtics. And he's somebody who I try to model my defensive strategies after, you know what I'm saying? Because he's one of the greater defenders at the rim of all time than most people, you know what I'm saying? I also like the fact that he has a mid-range bag too, you know what I'm saying? I try to get a mid-range bag in honor of him, you know what I'm saying? Because this dude was backpacking the Wolves. Like his 2004 MVP season, I wish it didn't get soured by the LA Lakers, but that was one of the best times to be a Timberwolves fan. You can't say I'm wrong. We love you, Big Ticket. We love you, kid. Oklahoma City Thunder. This guy is also in my top 3 in my scoring list, and he's not 3. Kevin Durant. And the reason why, this dude is still playing the same at 36 years old, despite him being a son. Like this dude.
OKC, yeah, it's gotta be. Let's see. I want to say around like between like 2011 up until 2020. Kevin Durant has been in my top 5. Well, he's still in my top 5, but in my top 3, Kevin Durant has been in my top 3 for a long time. So from like 2011, Kevin Durant became my favorite player to watch. I had to accept the fact that Iverson just they was done with Allen Iverson. NBA was done with Allen Iverson. They was done with my dog, man. They were done with my dog, man. I had to accept the fact that they was not fucking with Iverson no more, bruh. I was heated, bruh. I was like, damn, y'all can't get him on the roster. Come on, Charlotte, y'all know y'all need some Iverson in your life. Let Iverson be on the team, man. Y'all ain't got no good players anyway. Why Jordan still hating, man? Why you still hating, bruh? Because he crossed you, bruh. Why you still hating, bruh? But nah, I had to accept the fact that the league wasn't fucking with Iverson no more. So KD became my new favorite. Then it was Melo. Wade had to move to number 3 because of the LeBron going to that team. So I kind of I was feeling some type of way about that. So I had to move Wade down. But once I realized that LeBron wasn't that guy and Wade was still him, I was like, oh shit. I kept Wade in my top 3. I want to say Russ started to move up in my top 3 as well, but I kept him out. I kept him out because I was scared. Because I like athletic point guards. I really do. I like athletic point guards. Like athletic point guards that just get buckets. So pretty much like Allen Iverson, Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook type of point guards. I like those type of point guards. I don't like the Rondo, Chris Paul point guards. I don't fuck with them niggas. Fuck them niggas. Them niggas boring. You getting weak ass little middies and shit. You scoring like 8 points. You scoring like 5-6 points a quarter. Fuck out of here. I'm not trying to see it. I'm trying to see niggas get buckets. I'm trying to see niggas running on the fast break, jumping up, catching lobs, yamming that bitch. I'm trying to see niggas go for 40, 50. I ain't trying to see none of that shit, cuz. But yeah, like OKC was, yeah, it'll have to be KD. Yeah, it's still KD for me. Even though personally, I feel like Russ deserved that love a lot more, but still.
Dude could get whatever shot he wants because of his length and height. And he could handle the ball pretty well for a big dude too. Like he was 6'11" playing small forward. Easy mismatches because most small forwards were 6'7", 6'8". He would just hit you with the ugly crossover, either drive to the hoop or get a midi on you. And he'll pull up from 3 on you too if you let him. You know what I'm saying? He got a nice 3-point stroke as well. I think he also went 50, 40, 90 as well. Alongside Steve Nash and Larry Bird and all them people. He also went 50, 40, 90. So yeah, there's that as well. Like Kevin Durant is the second best scorer of all time. Like legit, because he's won multiple scoring titles in his lifetime. And he can get any shot he wants. And then on the defensive end, he's swatting you away. He's defending you laterally. Like he's not a pure shot down like most people like most people would like to think to assume. But nah, he's not a pure shot down. You know what I'm saying? But like he'll guard the opposing. He's not afraid of guarding the opposing team's best player. Like he's not afraid of going 1-on-1 for LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Going on against Carmelo, going 1-on-1 against Paul George. He's not afraid. Never was afraid. But yeah, man, shout out KD. If only the Thunder underneath him don't blow a 3-1 lead because him and Russ was shooting terribly from the field during the last few games of it. If only they don't throw a 3-1 lead.
Man, him and Russ was playing like butt juice, man. After game 4, when they went up 3-1, they started playing like butt juice.
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
The Thunder would have another championship thanks to KD. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Portland Trail Blazers. There's only one option for me. And sadly, it's not Brandon Roy for you guys. It's Damian Lillard. Reason why? He earned my respect the day he torched the Rockets in the 2014 playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And like, this version of Dame was where Dame time was close to infinite. You know what I'm saying? It took him until he got older for him to actually start to wane down. You know what I'm saying? And like, Damian's game, you know what I'm saying? Like, his bag, apart from being a 3-point shooter, is much more further than that. Because there was a point in his career where he was considered a top 5 point guard. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. And on top of that, his logo shots are deadly. Anyway, wish him the best of luck in Milwaukee, but moving forward.
It's Brandon Roy. I don't care. It's Brandon Roy. It's still Brandon Roy for me, man. Brandon Roy. It's still Brandon Roy for me, man. It's still Brandon Roy for me. Oh, Atlanta Hawks. I'm gonna let Maverick get his first.
Atlanta Hawks. I got 2. Sharif Abdul-Rahim is number 1. I like Sharif Abdul-Rahim's game. His game.
I get it. He got buckets. I ain't gonna lie to you, he got buckets, but
reminds me of like a tad bit lankier and a tad bit shorter version of Kevin Garnett, and that's why I like him. Like minus the trash talk. Like he's severely underrated. Like I remember when he was when he was on the Blazers, he was on the Jamie Foxx show playing a game against Gary Payton and one of his other teammates from that era. You know what I'm saying? From that Sonics era. And like him and Jamie was balling. You know what I'm saying? Up until he re-hurt his knee. Y'all remember that episode? I remember that. Sharif was so humble for that. I love Sharif for that. And then my second choice is Jason Terry because like in his youth, man, Jason Terry was playing like, you know what I'm saying, like a young like how Ray Allen used to play in his youth. You know what I'm saying? All around scoring back, not just a shooter, but to get any shot he wanted despite his height.
Don't get me wrong, Jason Terry was nice in his Atlanta Hawk days. In his younger days, I ain't gonna lie, Jason Terry was nice, but Jason Terry. Jason Terry.
Get up!
Jason Terry. Jason Terry. Nah, bruh. Atlanta Hawks for me, Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson, hands down. I'm taking Joe Johnson. I don't care. Joe Johnson was that guy in Atlanta, bruh.
Because of his handling ability, you know what I'm saying? And this version of Jason Terry could dunk. You know what I mean? And like, you know, I had to put him in here because for the same reason Jake did. Like he was at a point top 5 leading in most 3-pointers made. And on top of that, he played amazing defense against LeBron in the 2011 finals. What can I say? Miami Heat. Speaking of the 2011 finals, here's the team that lost. Miami Heat. Dwayne Wade. There's no other answer here.
He
He got them the first championship. Single-handedly, might I add. Need I say more? It's Dwayne Wade. You know what I'm saying? This when he was a legend. He was already a solidified champion before LeBron didn't save him. If anything, him, Pat Riley, and Coach Spoelstra saved LeBron from being a ringless loser. And LeBron tried so hard to get Coach Spo fired, but Pat Riley was like, what you gonna do is sit down, shut up, and listen to my son Eric. Because Eric, that's my son. I trust him with everything in terms of managing the players and coaching. I trust my son because I taught him well. He's my son. You gonna listen to my son. And LeBron, after the 2014 finals, was like, all right, deuces. But what did Wade do? Stayed the course until his contract expired. But yeah, man, shout out Wade. Charlotte Hornets. I don't know if I'm cheating a little, but my all-time favorite player is actually Alonzo Mourning. Reason why? He was one of the most athletic centers of the 90s.
I mean, to be fair, Charlotte ain't got nobody. So pick your poison here. You can say Alonzo, Muggsy, Larry Johnson. You can go LaMelo if you want to. I mean, shit, there ain't that many options. If you want to say Kemba Walker, fine. Shit. There ain't that many options to choose from with this team. So anybody you choose from here, I ain't mad at it, bro.
The time, man. Could soar and get every lob, get every dunk, you know what I'm saying? Could muscle anybody inside, you know what I mean? Like he was one of the most talented players to step in the game, man. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he doesn't get talked about enough in terms of centers. You know what I mean? Like granted, he's no Shaq or Hakeem or anything like that. No, he'll never be like that. But he's definitely like somewhere for centers. He's definitely somewhere like top 20. You know, maybe even top 30. And not 30. I feel like he just doesn't get the credit he deserves. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, moving forward. Orlando Magic, there's only one right answer. Because I already put Shaq in another part of the list. So the only other right answer here is Tracy freaking McGrady. Reason why? This was before he started having injury problems. Number one. Number two, this dude was the only dude in the game at a point to go bucket for bucket against the coach.
That's why he's there.
I just wish that his team was adequate enough to get past it. There was only so much carrying Tracy McGrady could do. So much carrying. And think about it. He could score in quick succession too. Like remember like he was at the Rockets on the time, but he scored like what? Damn near 13, 15 points back to back. You know what I'm saying? In 33 seconds. Come on, man. His bag was deadly. His bag was freaking deadly. But yeah, man. Shout out to Tracy McGrady. It's crazy how him and Vince Carter found out they were cousins through their grandmamas. That's crazy. Anyway, Washington Wizards. I got to go with John Wall here. And the reason why I had to go with John Wall is because when I was in high school, he was carrying the Wizards throughout the majority of their playoff runs, man. Like those Wizards.
Once again, it ain't that many options. So anybody you choose on this team, it don't matter. I say Michael Jordan. Shit. Just for the fuck of it. Just say Michael Jordan. I just say Michael Jordan just for the fuck of it. Me personally, but yeah, this team ain't got that many good players either, bro. This is another one of the franchises that just do not have enough good players, bro.
Those teams lived and died by John Wall's bag. And it was a heavy bag, man, that he carried. For real. Like, John Wall was, you know what I'm saying, a really prolific scorer. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as finishing around the rim goes. And, like, he had a bit of a three ball. Like, he wasn't the greatest three-point shooter on this team because that honor goes to Trevor Ariza, you know what I'm saying, and Martell Webster. And Bradley Beal, too, but I consider Trevor Ariza a bit more because, like, Ariza and Martell Webster shot at higher volumes. But, yeah, man. And then, like, you know, before he injured himself a whole bunch, he was one of the most athletic point guards in the game. Arguably, you know what I'm saying, a borderline top fiver in the early 2010s. You know what I'm saying? Shout out John Wall, man. Shout out John Wall. I remember watching this one video where he played against this one athlete, and he ended up dunking on him for his last couple points in the game after like scoring like 3 straight buckets from downtown, like 3 straight rains. You know what I'm saying? That dude also like I think that player also like died a few years ago too. So rest in peace to that player. But yeah, man. Memphis Grizzlies, we winding now. It's gonna shock you, but I'm gonna throw Mike Miller in here. Reason why? He's one of my favorite 3-point shooters of all time, and he's not leading any categories, but this dude is deadly. Like. And for the sole reasons of, like, well, first of all, his 5 threes against the Oklahoma City Thunder in 2014 playoffs, those were iconic. And then, like, in the 2013 finals, this dude hit a 3-pointer with one of his shoes off. That's crazy focus. Like, I can't even hit a 3-pointer with one shoe. As good of a
Mike Miller? Mike Miller, don't get me wrong. Mike Miller, I ain't gonna lie. Mike Miller was cold on the Memphis Grizzlies. I ain't gonna lie to you. On the Memphis Grizzlies, Mike Miller was actually decent, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. But Mike Miller. Then again, this is one of the franchises that don't have enough players, so you can pick whoever. I'ma just say Ja, bro. I'ma just say Ja, because that's the one true superstar they got, bro. I would just say Ja. This is one of them franchises where they don't have a superstar, bro. They don't. So I'm gonna just say Ja Morant for me. But Mike Miller,
The shooter I am, you know what I'm saying? This dude did that in 2013 finals. And then the year before, he torched the Thunder with 7 threes. This dude could get hot when you least expect him to. He will get hot. You know what I'm saying? His time in Memphis before Marc Gasol got there was also pretty prolific too. And like he was also, I think he was drafted by the Magic and then traded over there. But yeah, man, he's one of the greatest 3-point shooters to ever, pick up a basketball and start shooting. You know what I'm saying? Show Mike Miller the props. You know what I'm saying? I would put Pau Gasol on here, but I remember him more as being a Laker. Like when he started winning as a Laker, I respected him more. But yeah, man, shout out, Mike Miller. New Orleans Pelicans. I'm gonna throw David West in here. Reason why? I love how he plays both sides of the ball, and he also had a mid-range stroke for most of his career. He had a 3-point stroke too. You know what I'm saying? He had a 3-point stroke too, but only when he got to Golden State. You know what I'm saying?
David West. David West.
Oh, hell no.
David West. Nah, Chief. Nah. I'm taking. I'm either taking. Nah, I'm taking Baron Davis, bro. Nah, I'm taking Baron Davis. I'm taking Baron Davis, bro. Nah. David West. David West. I'm taking Baron Davis, bro. I'm good. Baron Davis is good enough for me.
Only when he got to Golden State did he have a 3-point stroke. But yeah, regardless of that fact, like his ability to be a post scorer and a post playmaker warranted him a spot on this list. And I could not leave him off the list for that reason. He's on this list for the same reasons as David Lee, because when you look at him and David Lee, you know what I'm saying, they're practically damn near one of the same player. Like, as you can see, David West had the captain patch, just like Chris Paul did. You know what I'm saying? Chris Paul had the captain patch. You know what I'm saying? And Steph Curry had the captain patch, and he was starting point guard for the Warriors. And David Lee had the captain title for him being inside, being one of the forwards. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, you're basically looking at parallels here. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, gotta love David West. And then like my love for him grew even more when he went to Indiana. You know what I'm saying? And role played alongside Paul George and them. But yeah, man. Dallas Mavericks. It should be obvious. Dirk.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
07 MVP season. 2011 finals. In fact, that whole 2011 finals.
That's why he's the GOAT.
Greatest playoff.
The GOAT.
Who else? No other player besides him and Jake Kidd, Shawn Marion, Tyson Chandler, Jason Terry, Peja, J.J. Barea, Deshaun Stevenson, all these guys. Brian Cardinal, Brendan Hill, all these guys. They can never, ever, ever, ever say, except for those guys I just named, nobody else in the league can say, I beat Kobe, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, all in one playoff run. Dirk has the biggest piece of the winner's pie for that. Don't forget his amazing Game 2 layup with his left hand. Don't forget. They should have never put Bosh on him. And also, like Steve Nash and Kevin Durant, he's also one of the best players to ever do the 50-40-90 club. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Dirk Nowitzki. Houston Rockets. I did want to put James Harden on here, but I left him off here for the same reasons I left off Chris Paul. He's one of the biggest chokers I've ever seen.
I'm going to put Trace McGrady on here, too.
But you know who kind of wasn't? Yao Ming. Reason why? Like, when he's
I'm putting Trace McGrady on here. Yeah. No, matter of fact, fuck that. Fuck that. Since I can't use Trace McGrady, Steve Francis, nigga. What are we talking about? Steve Francis, nigga, the franchise, nigga. The motherfucking franchise, nigga. Fuck y'all talking about? What we talking about here? Steve Francis. I'm tripping, bruh. Steve Francis was that dude, bruh. Y'all tripping, bruh.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
That nigga Steve Francis was crazy with it, bro. That was another one of them point guards, because he was one of them point guards that would get buckets, bro. And he was a dunker, bro. Imagine, bro, that nigga hit you with the bop, bop, bop. Hit you with it, or he'll just go bop, 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 yeah, that bit, bro. Yeah. Steve Francis, bro. Hell no. Yeah, I'll take a Steve Francis on this one, Chief.
healthy, he could get you to a conference final. I've seen it done before when he's healthy. But I don't blame the Rockets never making it to the finals underneath him on just Yao. Like, I blame it on the fact that him and Tracy McGrady could never stay healthy long enough together to sustain a lengthy, what would be a title run. You know what I'm saying? And furthermore, the Rockets, they are a Western Conference team, and Yao played in a Western Conference that was stacked, top heavy. You know what I'm saying? So the Lakers and the Spurs were a problem. The Mavericks were a problem. You know what I'm saying? You had underdog teams like Golden State. You had, you know what I'm saying, New Orleans. You had Minnesota. You had Denver. You know what I mean? Portland at a point. But yeah, man. Sacramento at a point. You know what I'm saying? Even the Clippers snuck in there from here and there. Like, the West was too top heavy for him. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if Yao would stay healthy, would the Rockets have had another championship by then? Because he was one of the best two-way centers of the game.
No.
And like, it was unreal for us to see a Chinese man that tall that could shoot.
He probably would have been around long enough to the point where he got traded to a team where he would have been a factor, or had a chance to win a championship. He would have been more of a factor. Like, if given enough time, he possibly could have went to a contender. I want to say a contender if he did go to a contender in the West. If he stayed healthy long enough, the only team I can see utilizing him and really like where he could excel and be good. The only team I could see is really like if he remained healthy for a good chunk of his career. I mean, Dallas would be a good fit. He would fit in perfectly with Dallas. Him and Dirk would definitely be a problem. If he joined the Lakers, that would be OP as fuck. If he joined the Spurs, it's over. If he joined the Spurs, it's over. Yeah, that's about I can see it in the West, but like in the East, say he went to New York with Melo and Amari, yo, they would be a hard out. Pause, no diddy. They'd be a hard out because you have to deal with Miami didn't have no rim protection. And most of their baskets came at the rim. So if you ain't had nobody that could guard Yao, they getting thrown out. Like, yeah, like if he would have joined New York, that would have been a problem. Melo, Amari, Yao, that would have been a problem. I ain't gonna lie to you. But outside of that, yeah, I mean, if he would have stayed healthy, it would have just been long enough for him to leave and get traded.
Shoot that good, rebound that good, and defend the rim that good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Shaq gives him all his props because Shaq was like, he was the only center in the league that made me feel like I was small. What other player could Shaq say that about? The dynasty. Anyway, let me stop. Lastly, San Antonio Spurs. It should be obvious who it is. He was the San Antonio Spurs. It's Tim freaking Duncan, everybody. It was because of him that
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there, baby.
Because of him, I did bank.
That's why he's the GOAT.
Not only that,
The GOAT.
he's also like David Lee and David West. He was one of the engineers of being a post playmaker, being able to not only score out of the post, but pass out of the post, as well as score and as well as defend. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's one of the most quietest players in the game. But that's what's so cool about him. Like, he lets his game do most of the talking. That's what I respected about him. To the point where like he has some of the funniest commercials of all time, like the one where he's doing a poem and he's trying to tell his drummer to stop drumming. Or that one commercial for Adidas in 2015 he had. That one was funny too. But yeah, man. Shout out Timmy D. You're the big fundamental, 5 chips. You know what I'm saying? The greatest power forward of all time. Don't at me. Top 5 player of all time, and he arguably could be not 5. But yeah, man. Shout out Timmy D, man. You're a legend. You're one of the GOATs. You know, big fundamentals, old man, River Rock, Timmy D, all that good stuff. And anyway, that's just gonna wrap this video up. You know, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe if you're new, hit notification bell, you know what I'm saying, so you know where I upload. See you on the next video. Till then.
All right, man. That's just gonna about do it for this one. Hey, Maverick, it's your list, brother. You like who you like, then you like who you like. I'll just say it though. Jason Terry, David West, David Lee. Yeah. Yo, hey, you like who you like, man. Everybody like who they like, man. Everybody like who they like, man. I can't be mad at it. I can't. It is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.